George Andrew Romero was born in the New York City Bronx on February 4th, 1940. In 1960, after graduating from the Carnegie Institute of Technology in Pittsburgh, Romero began his work in film working on the Mister Rogers' Neighborhood television show, a popular children's program produced in Pittsburgh. In 1968, Romero began raising funds with his friends to finance a low-budget film. The original working title was called Night of the Flesh Eaters, but due to sounding too similar to another film at that time, it was changed to Night of the Living Dead. Though the film refers to the dead as ghouls, it can be said beyond a shadow of a doubt that this single film defined the zombie genre and its respective subculture. It has spawned countless wannabe films like Lucio Fulci's Zombie 2, Dan O'Bannon's Return of the Living Dead, and popular television show The Walking Dead based on Robert Kirkman's comic series of the same name. George A. Romero passed away, sadly, July 16, 2017. His legacy as the godfather of the dead continues to inspire film to this day. His films, like fine wine, only improve with age and continue to build a fan base that has stood the test of time. Rest in peace, George. Hi, I'm Jim Clark, and now that I have your attention, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the subculture of the Living Dead. Now, the Living Dead genre stems from the horror genre, and it trickles down and it becomes a subculture in itself. There's an entire community, right, that dedicate themselves to this one specific genre. Everything from the works of George Romero to Dan O'Bannon, Tom Savini, anybody who's ever touched it, probably worshipped by a Living Dead fan. Now, since I have chosen the Living Dead for my box of subculture presentation, there are a few things that I would like to show you that are very special to me that I think will convey to you, the audience or viewer, what exactly it is that makes the Living Dead subculture so special. Now, the first thing I'd like to show you isn't the poster right here, although it is an honorable mention. This is the remake of George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, and it was directed by Tom Savini. Now, Tom Savini is best known for his makeup work in such films as Dawn of the Dead, Friday the 13th, From Dusk Till Dawn, and more. However, what I came here to show you was the actual frame itself. Now, I went to Home Depot and I picked out wood, and I found the glass and the wood glue, and I even bought a couple tools just so I could make a frame for this poster, because the size dimensions were a little abnormal for the average poster size. When you go to Walmart, you're not getting a poster this size. At the biggest, the width on them is 24 inches, and usually by 40. This is 27 inches wide by 42 inches long. So I had to custom make a frame that would actually fit it. And I'm actually quite proud of how it came out. The next item on my list to show you is right there behind me. That is a very rare German print of the Return of the Living Dead movie poster. It was one that I had to win in a bid war on eBay, and I was very proud the day that it showed up in the mail. It made the whole battle worth it. But that's not what I came here to show you. What I came here to show you was the signature of Tom Matthews. He was one of the stars in Return of the Living Dead. When I showed him this poster, even he didn't recognize it, which makes it all the more special to me because not only was I the first person to show it to him, but I also managed to get his autograph, and he gave it to me for nothing. The final item I would like to show you is actually the newest addition to my collection. So new, in fact, it is still in the packaging that it came in. Now, over the past week, I had a birthday. I am now 36 years old, as you see me. My mom reached out to one of my pen pals on Twitter, and one of my pen pals is Joel Shepard. Now, Joel Shepard, for those of you who don't know, is an actor that appears in the Return of the Living Dead. She was one of the punkers that you see running around, trying to survive the whole Night of the Living Dead kind of ordeal. Only it's a lot worse than Night of the Living Dead because you can't kill the zombies in this one like you could in the Night of the Living Dead. And she was just great in the movie. She really got across that terror that we really like to see when we watch a scary movie. Let's be real. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what she sent me. Now, what we have here are 3 glossy prints of Joel Shepard, all autographed by her. But the kicker is this one right here was signed by Miguel Nunez Jr., and that is him right there. And he was the one that played Spider in the movie. As you can see up at the top of the photo, there's his autograph and his character's name. It was a surprise to even get this one, and from what I learned from Joel Shepard when I talked to her on Twitter and thanked her for sending me the glossy prints with the quotes from the movie on it, she told me when she went to drop off the prints in the mail to send them out to me, she ran into him and told him, that I was a fan of the movie, so he got in on it and wanted to sign it, and there it is, right there. So even though this is the most recent addition to my collection, it is one of the most special. And like the poster, I got an autograph for nothing. Now that I have shown you these things, it is important for you to understand that the Living Dead subculture, to me, goes far deeper than just zombie movies or makeup or something you would see on Halloween. There's an entire community of people dedicated to these films and keeping them alive, and some of them, they use that pull to be charitable, to give back to the community. One of those members of the zombie community comes in the form of Terror Technologies. Now, they're a group of entertainers outside of Buffalo, and they dress up like zombies, and they go to parties and events as zombies, and they volunteer their time and their money to doing these acts so that they can donate to charity. The Western New York Food Bank, they've donated to Hearts for Homeless and more. And that's just one example of how the community can be charitable. I mean, even with the autographs on my posters, I didn't pay anything for those. The actor saw that I liked something and they gave it to me because I showed enthusiasm. That's very humbling to a guy like me who's a fan of this genre. So thank you for coming and for watching and for hearing me out. And I hope you enjoyed this video.